welcome back. Tonight we've got Jonivan Jones joining us on the couch. So you've been at this for over 20 years now. What first pulled you into music?
You know, when I was a kid, I was really lucky to like, you know, I heard music from, you know, my mom's record player to, you know, little camping trips just down the road, and you know, I think it was just one of those things that resonated with me from, you know, from a young age, you know. So yeah.
Yeah, that's great. All right. How have places like South Texas and the South Pacific shaped your songwriting, do you think?
A lot, quite a bit actually. You know, there's when you go to any place, like a music, you know, place or towns that you don't seem to have a music scene. There's oftentimes quite a bit of music scene there, and so for me, South Texas was one where, you know, I kind of stumbled upon a couple of musical acts and a couple of songwriters that were really kind to me. That let me open up for them a lot, and one of them was a band called Hobo. Um, and they were a riot. I mean, they owned these places when they play them because they were so fun. You know, they had all this different type of stuff going on. They had a banjo, they had a kid's guitar with a speaker in it. You know, but anyway, they had a really good spirit to the way they played. And I think, you know, that type of environment and that type of approach to like making music and connecting with folks is probably one of the things that kind of just hit me the most.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, it helps feed your passion.
definitely, yeah.
Okay. When you're playing live, are you trying to recreate songs as they were written, or do you let them evolve in the moment?
You know, that's a good question because I was just talking about sound with somebody about this, and you know, it's like every night I think is a different animal, different atmosphere. You know, sound is different. You know, so there's like this whole approach to it that I've kind of embraced lately, where it's just kind of let it go and say, okay, you know, sound is different tonight. There's this many people here tonight versus this, you know. So I think it's one of those things that, for me, the best way to deal with it is just to let it go and say, hey, kid, you know, this is a new blank slate to kind of play.
Let it be what it will be.
Yeah.
All right. There's a bit of old time blues and something almost psychedelic in your music. Did that blend happen intentionally, or was it natural?
It was probably kind of natural and a little bit of intentional too. You know, like when I was a kid, I grew up listening to. There was a lot of Doors records on at a friend's house when I was a kid, and so I didn't even know who they were. But you know, I was a young guy growing up listening to, like, you know, I think the L.A. Woman record was on, you know, all the time at this one house, and so I had this like kind of love and feeling for that. And then when I was about 14, I got into the blues pretty hard. And it wasn't like Robert Johnson and some of the Delta blues stuff that you hear a lot about. It was actually more of the later, like, Chicago era that I heard, that it was like really heavy. It was like Muddy Waters, Howlin' Wolf, stuff like that. And those things, you know, they still, I mean, it kills me. I love them, you know. So
Yeah, it's good music.
definitely.
Okay. Got one last question. You've got a few John Prine songs in your set tonight. What is it about his writing that resonates with you?
Man, you know, I mean, for me, it's like, you know, he's got these songs that are just so positive, and you listen to them and they're so uplifting, and there's he writes a line, and the human part of that is like, it's there, you know, you can relate to it. But it's funny too, because if you really listen to, you know, there's some sadness in his stuff, and like a lot of songwriters have talked about, you know, life has its moments, it has its ups and downs, its sadness, and you know, I think he covers the whole spectrum, you know, for that stuff. So you can, but I mean, there's nobody to me that plays, you know, kind of an uplifting song like him too, you know, because he's definitely got that, and it reminds me of some of that stuff that, you know, I grew up with, and I grew up with, you know, John Prine on the radio constantly, you know, with the folks that raised me. So
Yeah, I like that. So that's all the questions I have for you tonight, but we'll let you take it from here. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you.